All right, kia ora everyone. So the other day I told you I was going to show you a real life example of what I think Dataverse MCP can do for you with agents in Copilot Studio. And I'm really pleased to say that I got it working. Well, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see how it goes, but I'll take you through a bit of a hello world for this. And hopefully you start to see the penny begin to drop in terms of what we can do with Dataverse MCP and Copilot Studio. So last year, I did a demo with some colleagues for Semantic Kernel and showing how you could chat with Copilot to create quotes. So the idea being a salesperson goes, chats with their data, says I want 4 of these, 5 of those, 6 of these, and it would go and create a quote for you. Now, with Semantic Kernel, we had to do some custom coding. We had to create some Azure functions, do some stuff in Power Automate. Whereas with MCP, we simply hook up to it and then put our prompt into the agent. So here's what I'm going to take you through in the demo. So we'll start at just seeing the agent connected to MCP. I covered this in detail in my previous video, but we'll just briefly touch on it. Then what we're going to go through in the demo is this agent, when it's prompted, is going to look up a contact. Now, in this case, it's hard-coded. Again, it's a bit of a hello world. It's going to look up the account, again, hard-coded. It's going to create an opportunity with the contact and account that it's looking for. Now, again, that's stuff that's hard-coded, but it is still searching for it. But I'm telling it specifically what to search for. You'll see that in a second. It's going to look up the product that I've mentioned, and then it's going to create an opportunity product and link it to the opportunity. All right, let's pop out of PowerPoint and get into Copilot Studio. So this is my agent. I've called it MCP Quote Builder, and it's hooked up to Dataverse MCP. We can see that here. So that's all the config I've done for the tools, right? Simply hooked it up to Dataverse MCP. Let's come back to our agent description. Now, what this agent is going to do is when I prompt it, so I'm going to say, I need you to create a quote, and I'm going to give it a product. So I want a quote for an AirPod XL, or I want a quote for 5 Cafe Duos, something like that. And so I've given it a bunch of instructions. Now I'm still getting my head around this. I don't know if we need to give it instructions this detailed, but when I gave it less, it wasn't doing what I wanted to do. So the first thing I've told it to do is use the read query function to search contacts for this contact. So that's where the hard coding is. I'm looking for Alex Baker. And then I've told it use describe table to identify the contact ID, the GUID, because we're going to need that once we create our opportunity. Next, I'm going to have it do the same thing with the account. So I've hard-coded an account, Trey Research, that's where Alex Baker works. Go and look up this account by name and record its ID. Once we've got that, we're now ready to move on to creating the opportunity. And so what I've done is I've said use create record to create an opportunity. And I'm setting the topic to MCP and then just using a rand expression in PowerFX to set a random number so that we don't get duplicates. Next, I'm telling it to set the parent contact ID to the contact that you found in step 2 and the parent account ID to the account you found in step 4. Once we've done that, I've told it to use reasoning on the triggering message to determine which products you're being asked to add. Now, my vision for this is to be able to give it multiple products. At the moment, that's not working for me. I'm running up against generative AI limits and getting error messages around that. In fact, we might see that when we go to test it. Let's hope not, but we'll see what happens. But I've said, figure out what products you're being asked for. And then I've said, for each product, use read query to look for that product by name. And then use describe table to identify the primary ID, the GUID of the product, because you're going to need that in the opportunity product. And then lastly, I've said, for each product you find, use create record to create an opportunity product row. Set the existing product to the product that you found in step 8, set the opportunity to the opportunity you created in step 3, and set the quantity to what you determined in step 7. Again, when you're using reasoning, I want 5 AirPod XLs, something like that. So that's what the agent is going to do. Now, the last thing I've told it to do, when you've finished, just give me a URL to the opportunity that you've created, and you're done. All right, let's go ahead and test this out. Now, we're going to need to cross our fingers and toes here because I have been getting a lot of errors. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. It could be that I've just got way too much going on in this agent prompt. I'm just making too many calls to Dataverse via the MCP server at the same time. We're all kind of learning this at once. So if anybody watching this has any ideas, do let me know. But this was what I had to do to get it to work. In my earlier iterations, it would set Trey Research, or it would set Alex Baker. It would create the opportunity, but then it wouldn't create the opportunity product, or it would, but it wouldn't link them together. So this is what I did to get it to do what I wanted. All right, let's come over here to the test canvas and let's give this a test. So I'm going to say create a quote for 5 AirPod XL. That's a product that's in the product table. And let's go ahead and send this to our agent to start processing. Now it's going to start thinking through this. So it's called the MCP server. It's describing tables. It's working through this. It's looking for Alex Baker. The next thing it's going to do is it's going to start looking for Trey Research. And again, what MCP server is doing is it's taking my natural language. It looks like it's converting it to SQL and then to fetch XML. So it should have found Trey Research. Now it's going to start creating my opportunity. It looks like it's doing that here. And it looks like it's found the products. And it's created the opportunity product. And it's updated the opportunity, I think. All right, so the quote for 5 AirPod XL has been successfully created. So we can click on this URL and this should take us to our opportunity. And when we open it, we should see an opportunity product with an opportunity product for 5 AirPod XL. So let's go ahead and open this up. All right, so we've got our opportunity. You can see that I've set the name here. So MCP test and a random number. Look at that. We've set the contact to Alex Baker and the account is Trey Research. So far so good. All right, let's come over here to products and let's see what happened with the opportunity product. And look at that, it did it. It has linked an AirPod XL and it got 5. So it did that for us. So it has built an opportunity with an opportunity product based on my natural language. Now, again, I've hard-coded the account and the contact, but you start to get an idea of what we can do with natural language and Dataverse MCP server in Copilot Studio. This is starting to get really exciting. All right, let's pull a Maverick move, sweet Top Gun ref there, and let's see if we can push this a little bit further and see if we can get it to do 2 products. Now, this is where it's been erroring out for me, but let's see if it'll do it. Create a quote for 2 AirPod and 3 AirPod XL. Now this is where I've been getting the errors, but let's see what happens. All right, so we're going through our process again. It's listing out the tables, describing, and it's looking up Alex Baker, looking up Trey Research. Now it's going on to create the opportunity for us. It's doing that. Now we should move on to the opportunity products. So is error outputs is error false? That's a good sign. All right, we've got an opportunity, so it's created that. And it's now looking for AirPot and AirPot Excel. Is error false? Opportunity product. Oh, wow. Okay, this is the first time I've seen it do this. Usually when I have put two products in, it has thrown an error, but it's successfully done it. All right, let's see what happened, because some of the stuff, it looked like it replaced AirPot with AirPot Excel in the test canvas here where it was showing me what it was doing. So let's get into this opportunity record and see what's going on. All right, we've got our topic with a random number, Alex Baker, Trey Research. All right, so far so good. Let's come to the products. All right, I'd do a drum roll if I could, but just embarrass myself. And we don't have any opportunity products. All right, I have normally seen this. So this is the first time I didn't get an error when I asked for two products, but it looks like it didn't link them to the opportunity. Now, let's come over here to the Maker portal into tables, and we'll just see if it actually created these opportunity products and didn't link that, because I have seen that before. Some of the other stuff I've seen when I've gotten errors is I've come back a few hours later and things are linked together. So again, preview feature, but so we kind of know what we're signing up for here, but let's, all right, create it on. All right, look at that, 7:36 p.m. So it created AirPod Excel, quantity 5. That was our previous. So it doesn't look like it did it. Let's just refresh it real quick and see. Yeah, it looks like it did not create those opportunity products for us. That's what it looks like. Come back here and just do a quick refresh. Hang on. Look at that. It did it. 5. Oh, I think that was the other one. Try it again. Yeah, so it looks like it didn't work. So there are some limits to this. So it looks like it can do it with one. It sometimes does it for me with one. When I try to do it with more than one product, it looks like it is running into some issues, and I'm not entirely sure what that is. But yeah, hopefully you're starting to see some of the cool stuff that you can do with Dataverse MCP. We're not having to do all of the configuration of actions and cloud flows like we had to do in the past. We simply hook up to it, and then we come here to our agent, and we just write instructions in natural language, which is really, really cool. Now, as I said, I need to work out if I'm just giving it too much here, if there's a way to pare this down, make it a little bit simpler. Yeah, that is the demo of building quotes with Dataverse MCP server. So pretty cool. I am pretty excited about this, even though it is early days. And yeah, look forward to playing with this some more. If you have questions, drop a comment. If you have ideas of how I could improve this, things that I got wrong, definitely drop a comment and let me know. Thanks for watching. Do something awesome on the Power Platform today, and I will talk to you soon.